Hey everyone, it's the first Friday of the month for another month, and today will be one of the sunniest, shiniest editions of Ask Us Anything About LinkedIn, powered by BookMark. I'm Alex, and my pleasure today will be to share the scene, the air with Dari and Nona. Hi, ladies, how are you?
Hello, we're feeling great.
It's
Amazing.
amazing to be here together.
Yeah, well, saying amazing. Of course, a small talk about the weather, but it reminded me of a conversation last week with um, one of the people in a shop in Greece, and she was, "How are you?" And I was like, "Amazing. The seaside is perfect. The weather is perfect." Oh no, it's so warm. Okay, let's see how warm it's been on LinkedIn for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So, just a little sneak peek in today's topics. Some things about the new LinkedIn Analytics, what are the new features, how you should use it, um, some inside view in the forthcoming suggested LinkedIn feeds. And of course, as you see, Nona, it means that we will talk about design on LinkedIn. So, Dari, coming to you. And of course, yeah, you see the text on the screen, but all the questions you've got about LinkedIn, ask us and we'll answer them live, in the comment section. We have a couple of fairies that will be helping us to answer your questions real time. So, Dari, what's the surprise that LinkedIn has been preparing for us when it comes to the LinkedIn feed? We will be able to talk more directly to the algorithm almighty.
Yeah, that's what seems to be going on, but as we dive into it, we'll see whether it's gonna happen or not. So, some of you guys, the ones that are more interested in LinkedIn and you're following all of their basically spokespersons, if I might say so, might be aware of it. But basically, they are testing out a new feature, and it's called suggested feeds. So a short video came up on the profile of Julia, who is their director of product marketing. And basically, what she was showing off was a new view of the way that the feed looked. What I'm showing you right now is a little bit of a sneak peek of a whole article I wrote on the topic. And within the article, there's the screenshot that she presented. So basically, what they're looking to launch is, as I said, suggested feed. So as you can see highlighted in the top corner, you'll have certain topics that you can browse. Right now, here in the screenshot in particular, and what she was talking about when she showed it off, it was about the recent Cannes Lions Awards, about that, the ones connected with the PR, with the advertising world. They had tons of interesting campaigns over there, but to really not go into too much detail and focus on the update itself, basically, what the suggested feed means, according to her words at least, is that if you were there, and if you interacted with content or you posted content that indicated you were in this place, you were going to get presumably a suggested feed that just had to do with the Cannes Awards. So, what's interesting is this is actually not their first time testing out this feature. About a year ago, you also had the feature being tested. It was just a news feed, like a separate feed that showed news. Then and right now, LinkedIn is saying, well, what we're looking to focus on is to be a more sort of news informed platform, but In my personal opinion, and I don't know what you guys think, but this also for smaller choosing to really single out all the different topics that one might be interested in, whether they're news related or whether they're just topic specifics and things like that. So, Alex, do you have any thoughts about this new development, so to say?
Yeah, I'm thinking about all the times that uh, I've, I've I've explained to people that LinkedIn is actually the only social media and a very large one that actually has an editorial team. So LinkedIn have always been on the verge of not just spreading the news, not just acting as an ecosystem where people share, spread the news, but there have been trying for quite some time to be the people who are actually um, somehow discovering the news, elevating them, and creating additional conversations by um, professionals, by industry leaders. So these different teams on different feeds or different teams will be exactly the place where niche discussions or well, probably wider discussions will be happening. And of course, this will mean once again that LinkedIn is getting back to its roots, where professionals discuss professional topics. Since yeah, too many people have recently been complaining from all the AI slop and LinkedIn's becoming Facebook, etc., etc. Of course, just a reminder: what LinkedIn looks like depends on us and us only. Uh, and uh, something else about the separate feeds. I guess in some parts of the world we all miss the video feed, where we could also get to click, swipe up, swipe down through different videos. I really hope to be for the feature to be back worldwide pretty soon. At least that's what LinkedIn promised once again a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, that's a thing that at least I liked it, even though I'm not on TikTok, I'm not on Insta, uh, but I really love valuable content that is watchable. Once again,
Yeah, I was going to say actually, now that you mentioned Instagram and TikTok, that yeah, while some people are saying like, oh, it's turning more and there's more and more AI slop, it's looking more and more like Facebook. Actually, the whole suggested feed as well as the video feed that rolled out for a short while that you mentioned, they are very sort of TikTok, Instagram inspired, maybe even more TikTok, as it seems to be the leading sort of trendy social media, you could say. I am on both TikTok and Instagram, though not so much on TikTok. And I can say that what they're doing right now, what they did with the video feed, what they're doing with the suggested feed, is actually a really, really smart move. For both of those platforms, yes, I have purely my followers feed, but what I'm reaching the most towards is just the algorithmic offerings. And then for both TikTok and Instagram, what they're doing is they are picking up topics that they think you might find interesting. And basically, LinkedIn's suggested feed is going to be doing the same. But I think what seems to be better in this case is, as I showcased in the screenshot, as it was shown, cans, AI, technology, you won't get this sort of big mixed bag of topics. You could really just click on specific ones, scroll through, see it. Um, and yeah, that really is something amazing. And as I mentioned, what is also amazing, honestly, is that smaller creators will be able, I guess, they will have the chance to really reach out to a lot more people than their original networks. So if they don't have a lot of followers, as long as they put forward really good, really quality content that discusses news, that takes a critical standpoint on things happening within the industry that they specialize in, they are going to get promoted by the platform. I think that's what we're all hoping for. As Alex mentioned, there are more and more people just writing out generalized things with AI, not really putting in their own expertise, not really putting out their own opinion, just putting out content without really thinking it through. So I'm just glad to see that, yeah, once again, the platform does seem to be taking steps to just really award the people that are putting in thought into their content.
Uh, since we're still talking about new features, uh, do you want to share something about the collaborative post that you mentioned cans as well? Uh, LinkedIn basically launched a few new stuff while the creativity festival was running. So the collaborative posts are probably the next best and biggest thing on LinkedIn. Uh, does any one of you have it already?
I still haven't got so far the the feature myself. I do think it's a very interesting one. As we mentioned, once again, it seems to be very much other platform inspired. Instagram, maybe TikTok, though I'm not as informed, but it is a way to put forward, I think, an interesting way just to reach both networks at the same time, to also just I guess showcase connection more than anything else, though. I guess my hmm I would say my doubts about it would be on Instagram tagging people within the text of a post, like talking specifically about over there. It's not really a thing that works so much. It's not really a thing that is being done a lot. You can sort of tag people within carousels, within photos, things like that. So I guess I get why they are specifically doing it this way. But for me on LinkedIn, I would say one other way that you can show collaboration together with other people is by simply tagging them within the copy. And that does, at least to our vague understanding of the algorithm, because we never truly know 100% the ins and outs and whatever, but it does make you reach that person's network as well, I guess. But maybe as long as they interact with the post, maybe not. But yeah, that's my question. Would it really make such a big difference, like tagging people in your post? Like, we've done something together, I've done this let's say event together with this other person. What tagging them versus you know pulling up a collaborative post truly make a big difference? That's what I'm curious about, and that's why I really can't wait to see when this rolls out, at least for me, because I want to test it out.
Uh, if we can remember I would say the older way, but probably still for most users, the current way of creating collaborative posts is through the long form LinkedIn documents where, um, let's say, a number of creators get together, answer questions, then they, or at least one of them, publishes the post, and they, I don't know whether they pray, but probably they hope that it will get to enough eyeballs. And since documents and galleries on LinkedIn are changing, I think we'll see more collaborative posts that will work even better. And of course, it was not a coincidence that I mentioned carousels. Woo! Okay, documents. Yeah, you made me do it. Uh, Documents and galleries on LinkedIn, since there has been a change undergoing on LinkedIn regarding the way the platform visualizes the multimedia formats, and this is why we have Noni, our art director, And yeah, my next question is to her, to Nona. Uh, are documents and galleries still powerful enough on LinkedIn as they used to be, like relatively 5 to 10 times higher engagement rates, etc., etc.?
Hi everyone. Thank you for this amazing question. Actually, that's what we're all asking ourselves, whether the documents are dead. Are they going to be dead in the near future? There was a recent change in showcasing the document in our feeds. Most of us already get the update, and now we're seeing the documents as like a tiny squares on our feeds. You can see here, if you remember, in the last couple of years, maybe it was the most successful format on LinkedIn because it used to take up the whole space on the viewer screen, either on desktop or mobile. But now it is half its size, and especially if you're looking it on mobile, you absolutely cannot read anything except from a few titles. Also, on this format, there you can see that black title. Yes, exactly. um, and it stays consistent even if you scroll through the document. So if you have if you have any branding or any important information in the top part of the document, it won't be visible, and I suggest you don't put anything important there. For me, it is a really weird decision from LinkedIn. I didn't expect that, and in my opinion, they're cooking something new. They're introducing new feature that we don't even know what it might be, but something new is coming. And I want to mention also the galleries that appear to be completely the same as the documents. Now the only difference between the gallery and the document in their appearance is that the galleries don't have that black title box on the top of the post. So if I need to compare them, I'm inclining a little bit more to the galleries because you have more space. And for companies that want to just showcase a number of images and to lead the people through the process, let's say, of what they want to show, they better just post all the images as a gallery. I think that in near future, the two formats, the documents and the galleries, are going to get merged, simply because now they look almost identical. And uh, for now, I would suggest using the good old format, which is a single image one, because it still have that white size on the screens. It hasn't changed, and you can present a lot of info and put a lot of text inside that single image. So if you want to be readable, if you want to the viewer to be able to consume the information that you want to deliver, it will better be presented on a single image.
Nona, we tend to see more and more AI generated images on LinkedIn, whole documents, whole presentations, and it's, of course, it's normal. But what are your observations? Does member behavior change when they see and regardless whether there's this small little CR batch, the AI credentials. But do people care whether they see AI generated content or it's a genuine photo? Like, yeah, of course, mostly selfies, and mostly personal updates with professional text, really nice photos.
It is always better to post organic content because people engage more with actual people and actual events. But in terms of if we compare the old style of doing visuals and brand design with the new style being mostly influenced by AI, um, I think the opinion is polarized. There are those people that believe that it is better to know that something has been through real people and is a product of real people and real thoughts, while others are really integrating the mindset and they're used to consume that type of content. So I think both of them work, but depending on the client and its audience, it's the thing that will make the difference.
Okay, we have a question, but it's more like an opinion by Sylvia. Collaboration, of course, regarding the collaborative post, the new format. Collaboration shifts focus from I do something and promote it by tagging other people to we together did it, and usually it's going out as a published by both profiles, requires approval from all sides, etc., etc. So it will shift trust. So once again we're back to trust, authenticity, of course, uh, and it gets us back to um, the AI generated content. I I really,
I
well,
would say
I don't like the phrase AI slop, but it sounds funny. Of course, when everyone translates it
I
into
was
their
gonna
own.
say
Yeah.
something to add to Sylvia's opinion about trust specifically, because looking up articles about it as well, a lot of people are like, well, it's also connected to the fact that LinkedIn are rolling out like specific sort of like creator focused content, etc. And it's creator focused content because they want creators collaborating with brands, which once again it's extremely sort of popularized in the marketing world as a whole. But my question here to Sylvia, if she is still listening, are we really talking about trust? Because the more and more brands, this is my usual sort of negative uh, take on this kind of topics, but are we really talking about trust when more and more people across other platforms are saying, I don't really know whether people are recommending things to me because they truly like it, or whether they're being sort of sponsored by someone, whether they're being given this. Of course, other platforms have also rolled out features, and it's more and more basically regulated to say, I'm being paid to do this. But once again, is it really going, at least in the case of brands and creators, is it really going to create more trust? Or are people going to look at this and think, well, it's another feature that's looking to sell something to me more than anything else? I think that's something that needs to be debated a little bit. Sorry for the negative take, Sylvia. I know you're not part of the team. The team is used to me coming in and saying, well, I think, and then blurting out something very sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Once again, some outreach to bridge back to Nona, since trust, uh, it's and it will, I don't know whether it can get more and more important, but it definitely should. And would you like to share what we do on Bookmark when it comes to design, when we have to basically fight with all the AI generated content?
We have a proven system of good design practices, and we use them in every design, whether it is coming from our personal profiles or from our clients' page. So basically, we integrate AI tools, but um, we also mm, try to use as much as possible organic content and to integrate images, real photography, mm, real events in our design. So in the end of the day, people can actually get the real impression of the company, because most of the time we want to represent the company as it is, their values, their what they're doing, what they're striving for. So it is I would say a combination of both.
But is it necessarily bad if a company, when it comes to their company page, they post only, I'd say, 100% AI generated content? Since, yeah, there's probably no way these days not to use AI on any type of design, but those obvious AI generated images, how does it affect the brand perceiveness?
Yeah, I would say it is my personal opinion that it looks a little bit lazy in terms of efforts to give the best of you to the viewers. So uh, most of the audience feel that, and they tend to engage more and more, and it is visible through our data that they engage more with uh, organic content and content that is that uses less branding and shows more of who the companies and people are. So that is my opinion, and not only my opinion, it is what data says.
You see more and more questions coming from us to you, of course. So, how do you tackle AI slop um, on your personal profiles, company pages, and how do you treat AI generated posts in your feed? Do you hide the content? Do you unfollow, or even, I don't know, disconnect with the person? So we are interested in what you are doing in the ocean of AI generated content. Uh, Dari, would you like to moderate for a while?
Yep, of course, of course. So going back to what you were saying, it's very, very complicated when it comes to the topic of AI. I would say simply because, as you mentioned, yeah, we're the ones that take charge partially, and as Noni mentioned, there is certainly, I would say, it just matters how you use it, because there's a way to use AI that isn't as obvious, that we don't call AI slop. There's a way to subtly, I would say, edit, whether it's your graphics, whether it's your post, that doesn't make it stand out, that just enhances your own writing. But the issue that we encounter a lot is people simply just say, at least in the case of the people that surround me, they say, well, from the get go, I can't really write. So I'll just throw in this very, very basic prompt into, a platform like ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini, and I'll use it as it is. So yeah, it's just it's a very, very complicated topic. As we say, balance matters, not only with the usage of AI, but with everything else.
Okay, now back to me. But what we're going to do now is I will share my screen to show you something. and a few ideas related to the new things that we can measure through LinkedIn personal profile analytics. So, Dari, it's your time to ask the questions.
Um, so yeah, what I was going to ask is, uh, have you guys basically, this is to all people that are watching us as well, but have you noticed differences when it comes to the information that you can get from your posts, or have you noticed, I would say, any of the new features that we talked about, such as collaborative posts or such as the suggested feeds already rolling out for you?
I still don't have that feature, so um, I can't really tell.
And Noni, do you think it's something that you want to see soon? Something like suggested feeds? Do you think it's going to be interesting for you to, I guess with you, the topics that you would be interested in seeing is something that has to do with design specifically, maybe, yeah, with using AI and other platforms for it, but
Uh,
um,
yeah, um, it will be really interesting because for me, I would probably see more and more designers, art directors, different competitions, and so on. But it kind of make me sad because I wouldn't be able to see um other industries and other people and their opinion that are really important on LinkedIn. And I actually really enjoy that I'm able to connect with different peoples from different spheres, and to be able to have a look on different topics that I normally don't search for. So I think that it is a little bit disadvantage for me because I already consume a lot of design content, and I just want to see something else. What do you think about that, Alex?
Ah, usually, when it comes to AI, I see mostly advantages, but unfortunately, people are using it the way uh, that it comes with more disadvantages than the other way around. So the good part is that we now have more and more ways to measure whether my opinion or my thesis is true, and probably most of you have noticed that in the recent months, LinkedIn have launched a few new features and a few more dashboards when it comes to LinkedIn analytics. Um, my biggest pain here is that they changed the way uh, company compared um, to their competitors when it comes to page analytics. But since the network is obviously focusing more and more and even more on creators, and personal profiles are getting more and more powerful, now we see new features and new metrics on our personal profiles. So if we switch to the analytics part, of course, this is the new design that we have already discussed, but there are new stuff we can see here. And when you go to your content analytics, you have not just the number of impressions, the number of engagements through a certain period, and it gives you the by default the cumulative graphics, but of course you can change it to daily. The newest thing here is that in the discovery part, now you can see which people, what part of the people you basically reach are inside of your network, means followers and connections, and what part of them are out of network. Of course, when you are in the analytics part of your profile, you see the total numbers, but the best thing is that when we switch post, we can see what these numbers, these percentages are for each and every post. So first thing here is now we know how successful our profile and of course our posts are when it comes to reaching the people, the audience who we already have in our network, and reaching and widening the audience with out of network people, as LinkedIn call them. So this is the first thing here, and the best, of course, we've spoken about that, is that we now can see the number of saves, the number of sends on LinkedIn through personal messages, and the link engagement, which in fact was one of the metrics that we weren't able to measure before. The only way to do that was through the shortened URLs like Bitly, etc., etc. Uh, and what does it mean? That we can go way beyond the vanity metrics that people mostly measure. Uh, as as you probably as you've probably seen during the last couple of years, many people are constantly complaining about the lower reach, the lower numbers when it comes to impressions. But I think that the problem is really different, and definitely where we should focus is a different place. Like, all right, definitely reach is lower, impressions are, let's say, on all-time low, but what matters here is whether you reach the right people, whether you have viral post after a viral post which reaches people who will never become your clients, who will never become part of your network, or you're reaching new people who, after seeing your post, after interacting with your content, they become your followers, they become your customers, clients, regarding uh, the type of the business you are part of. So there should be a shift, and hopefully, these new features here will help us do that. First, uh, now we know what matters when it comes to reaching in-network people, because some of the the LinkedIn trainers, the LinkedIn gurus, even um, are constantly explaining how we should focus on different types of content. Of course, it's true. We need to have like brand awareness content, which is usually on the top of the funnel. We need to have educational content which will make people engage, and we need to have content that makes people convert, that not just gets clicks, not just engagements and short lazy comments, but that gets people to send you messages after they read what you do and your company, the product, etc., etc. So here, what do we measure? Do we need only posts with dozens of thousands of impressions, or we need posts with like 600 impressions and 10 connection requests? Is that measurable? Yeah. Is that a good quality? The first one, maybe, probably, but the latter, definitely better, especially if these people are people who you will later on connect, start conversation with, try to build rapport with, and why not create opportunities for business. Uh, and this basically got me thinking in the last weeks that we need new metrics for LinkedIn. And as you can see here, we have the number of impressions in network, out of network. We have the members reached. We have different numbers for, of course, reactions, comments, etc. But now we have saves, we have sends on LinkedIn. We, as I said, have it for the each and every separate update. So what I have in mind here is a couple of new metrics, like profile views per post. What do we have here? 6 profile views, 1 follower from this post out of 6,000 impressions, which means 1 profile view per mile. Is that good? Is it not? It depends on your profile. So this is a thing that we can measure. Or saves per post. How many saves do I have here? 0 saves out of 6,000 impressions. But if we go a bit lower, let's see some more updates. We will see updates with less, like this one, less impressions with but 3 saves, and 830 impressions, 2 profile views. So there should be a shift in the way we think about LinkedIn metrics, and I think it's we're way past the time that we should have started thinking this way, but today is a good day as well. And one final thing, why not trust per mile? Trust per mile meaning the number of saves plus the number of sends, which is the deepest, in my opinion, type of interaction on LinkedIn. The number of saves, the number of sends, which means in our case here 9 divided to the number of impressions, and of course multiplied to 2,000. So the trust per mile, trust per 1,000 impressions here is 0.79, and it's way more useful, at least to me, than just dividing the number of engagements to the number of impressions. Because the one thing is easy, slow, low quality engagement, low quality ratio. The other one measures trust. So, Dari, since usually you're our data and metrics person, how do you like it? In fact, I should say that this is the first time that we're presenting this, and even some of the ideas are new also to Dari. And I'm
Um,
now curious.
yes, I was going to say it's a really, really, it's something that I definitely support. As Alex said, it's basically a turn towards the direction we're all hoping for. So quality over quantity, even if it's a bit unclear, but basically we've spoken about this with in some previous editions. You can have a viral post, you can get tons and tons of impressions, but does that really uh, actually contribute to your goal? A lot of the times when we see a lot of impressions, when we see viral posts, they're I don't want to say valueless or goalless, but a lot of the times they are commenting on sometimes, debatable topics, but debatable topics that aren't necessarily involved with your area of expertise. So I think these new metrics that are being presented are really bringing it back to value. So we're not talking, as Alex said, about vanity metrics, about how many people have seen your post or how many people have commented on your post, but it's about how many people have gotten interested in you and your expertise through that post. And things such as profile views, such as saves, especially, are really an indicator towards the fact that what you're giving with your post is value. It's not some sort of hot topic that is being discussed everywhere. What you're presenting is information that is interesting to people. It's information that they find really has a use for them.
We should be coming to an end with today's episode. Uh, Thanks to Nona, and thanks to Dari for being with us today. We've spoken about the way LinkedIn changes when it comes to features and to design. We've spoken a lot about how everything that's changing um, relies on trust, but how trust changes, and is it becoming more and more important, or people basically don't care whether they're uh, scrolling through genuine, authentic content, or it's just AI. So thanks a lot for being with us today. Have a lovely weekend and see you again in a few weeks. Bye.